I just did the whole thing. I literally just did this whole thing and I didn't press start recording. I hit start streaming. It hurts. It hurts so bad. So many posts. I went through so many posts. Oh man. I'm gonna do a Spark Notes version of Reddit. That's what this will be. This guy is spending all of his money on insulin and he's dying and nobody's doing anything about it and it costs him money even though he has insurance. This is Tommy Lauren. She's just saying dumb shit again like she always does. And this guy's saying that Kanye and Trump are like equals in the race, which is true because they both have the same level of credentials basically. This woman sees her son after 13 years in prison and she loses her mind. She's so excited and it's so good. She's praying, she turns, she loses her mind. So good. All right. This is Trump mocking a disabled person, somehow still president. We got a Siberian Husky getting his hair knocked off. It looks like they smacked a pillow that's got all the chicken feathers in it, and that's how they. It's so much fur. I don't know how people live with those dogs. This is a guy who found his sister after years and years. She had just run from home and randomly found her, I guess. I don't know. Or it could just be a picture of two people and he wants upvotes. Who knows? You got black people Twitter. This lady's saying, don't vote for Kanye West the same way you voted for Harambe. If you Google it, the first article says that there was not nearly as many write-ins for Harambe as people said there was. But then the next post, I'll just look it up, watch. Harambe, how many, look. See, first one, no, Harambe didn't get 11,000 votes for president. Second one, Harambe got over 15,000 votes for president. So CNN says it didn't happen. Snopes says it did. I don't know. We live in a post-truth era, boys. It doesn't matter what you look up. You'll find whatever answer you want to find. You just have to look it up. And I don't think that's going to improve. I think the future is going to look much worse. Every time you look for any information, it's just going to positively reaffirm what you look for, basically. This is just wholesome memes. People marry for a long time, and they're famous, so it's extra cool. We got Fox News decided to crop top. Fox News decided to crop Trump out of this photo. Here he is with Jeff Epstein and just saying Maxwell again. Being next to somebody doesn't prove anything, but it's still not. That's a bad sign. It's a bad show. It just, I don't know how she got along for so long before the FBI grabbed her, and I don't know why we're accepting that he killed himself. I don't get it. We got this girl is super amped because her dad, who's paralyzed on half of his body, jumps in the water. Pretty crazy that this dude keeps living his life. I mean, I can't run anymore because my legs are all jacked up. But this dude has half of his body paralyzed, and he's just out there living his whole life. Yeah, see, like this dude's just a badass. Lithuanian soldiers, they're doing a reconnaissance mission, and during a training exercise, and it was like playing hide and seek, and they were too good at it. They thought that all the people they were sending to try to find them were actually part of the test, and so they kept hiding. And they evaded all forces sent to find them, including trained dogs and a helicopter. So good on them. I hope they got a medal. R/Gaming, it's just a pretty girl. It's not really because of a good post. This is weird. Old school cool. Yet again, it's just people fetishizing their 18-year-old grandmothers when their grandmothers were 18. Everyone posts that on old school cool. It's just photos and videos of their grandmothers and things from when they were hot to them. I don't know. It's like the big thing on there is jerking off to old ladies who were once young. We got r/aw. It's a dog with some duckies. That's fantastic. I love that. Thousands of Hong Kongers defy police ban to attend annual Tiananmen candlelight vigil. So that's good. They're still protesting, still out there going strong. I really hope something happens from it. It just seems like they've just been exhausting themselves doing this every single day, and I haven't heard of any sort of ground gained from this. I'm afraid we're going to get like 1984 levels of that boot stomping on you and never escaping. We got r/never tell me the odds. Two drunk guys imitate Conor McGregor as he drives past. And so they were just like, I guess, doing an imitation, and he just happens to drive past right as they're doing the imitation. So pretty low odds of that happening. We got Snuffles from Rick and Morty, insane people to Facebook. This is another example of just people who didn't listen in school, and then we gave them the world's largest microphone, and we called it Facebook. And it says, if the Earth was a globe, water flows to the lowest point. Which is just stupid. I don't know why there's even water up here. Like, why they think there's rivers. still in this image. It doesn't even make sense. And this paint job was so lazy. God, we got r/interesting as fuck. This is anti-paparazzi stuff. No one that anyone knows is gonna, like, rich people and famous people need this, but it's cool. I mean, they take a shot and it blurs their face out, so it makes the shots useless. This guy here sold fake bomb detectors. What a fucking asshole. I recorded this whole thing and then I messed it up and I didn't actually record it. So I was just talking openly to nobody for 16 minutes. And so now I'm redoing it, but fast version. Okay, this woman says, thank God the 130,000 dead aren't embryos. The Republicans would be outraged. And this obviously pointing out to the fact that people dying of coronavirus are not being protected by the government and that Republicans support that. Not anything happening positively or helpful to coronavirus people and patients and, the spread of the virus in itself. And yet they're still willing to freak out about abortion because embryos are people. But when people are alive, they don't do anything. This is the same joke that everyone makes about the hi gay I'm dad or hi whatever I'm dad. It's just a dad joke that's constantly being said. This says that the White House is reportedly hoping Americans will grow numb to the COVID-19 death toll. I don't really know what the report says, but I mean, I can see that as a viable strategy to some extent, because I think that when people die from a virus, it's hard to blame the government in a way. You should, because it is a resolvable problem, but the government can on one half just say, well, it's a virus, it's going to spread. It's a natural thing. It's a natural way to die. It's not like people are going out murdering 132,000 people.
Growing numb, I feel like that is.
Well, right, but I think that, they're saying they're hoping as they're growing numb, but I'm saying that that's a possibility. People just forget about it. We got Evil Genius. I found out on Fiverr.com you can buy 1,000 likes for $5. The only thing is that the likes come from the Middle East and they have Arabic names. So when I saw that my friend tweeted excited for my flight to New York City, I immediately spent the best $5 of my life. And that looks like my friend Chris Fairchild.
Oh my God, it does. What? Send that to him. You have to save that photo.
Okay. Save image.
Okay. I'm going to go to bed.
All right, you have a good night. My wife became a citizen. Cool. This guy getting up and living his life still. So it says, 2 weeks ago I posted a video of myself with a walking frame that got a lot of attention. Here's an update of myself taking unassisted steps the first time. That's really good. I think we should always celebrate people who recuperate, get back up, keep trying, push themselves. That's good. My sister came home from school one day and asked me to take her to the library so she could get books on sign language. She said there was a new kid at school who was deaf and she wanted to be friends with him. Today I stood beside her at their wedding watching her sign I do. Oh, how precious. I love it. That looks like the building from Futurama. Boys will be boys is supposed to be used when your mom finds you and your homies age 10 putting mayonnaise on the slip and slide instead of water and calling it the Miracle Whip and slide. It's not supposed to be used to shrug off sexism and rape culture. Yes. That's good. It is absurd how much has been passed off with boys will be boys over the years. I think that there was some woman that, or I can't remember who said it. Somebody was trying to defend these college students who had raped girls at a party and said boys will be boys. That's just so disgusting. To think that like the psychological, emotional, and physical damage that, even threatening with rape does. Not to mention just touching somebody does. Not to mention kissing somebody who doesn't want to be kissed does. But to take it as far as to rape somebody, which is really the furthest extreme you can take to violating somebody without bludgeoning them, without like hurting them like intentionally. Like that's the most horrible thing you can do. That isn't punching. It's worse than punching, but I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's just a terrible thing, and people throw it off as boys will be boys. So I'm glad that this has been a movement lately. Anyway, I recorded that really fast because I went through the whole thing for like 20 minutes, and I found out I wasn't even recording. So anyway, y'all have a good night.